All right.
Dead on. Former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, civil rights attorney Daryl Parks join us. Daryl, does Russia involvement in the United States, does that bother you?
Without question, it bothers me, Sean, especially when they meddle with our elections.
Does it bother you that
Hillary?
Does it bother you that Hillary's campaign and the DNC paid $12 million for what turned out to be Russian lies to manipulate the American people before an election? Does that bother you?
If that's true, but I don't think it's true, though. I really don't think it's true.
Okay,
I think the key here, though, is the connection between the Trump administration and Russia.
The Russian dossier is filled with lies about Donald Trump. It was never verified and then used for a FISA warrant. Does that part of the Russia interference bother you, that she paid Russian and even Russian government sources for those lies? Does that bother you?
Well, it's not an issue whether it bothers me. The issue, though, is the indictment issues that were presented last week.
The issue is I'm trying to find consistent. Does it bother you that Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama's administration, that we knew Putin had operatives in America? Does it bother you that Putin and his hostile regime got 20% of uranium rights in America and that the Clintons got a lot of money back in their coffers? Should we be concerned about that Russian interference? Does that bother you?
Well, I think you got to prove what is the connection to the Clintons and the uranium money. You haven't shown that yet.
All right, uranium. Oh, yeah. Bill Clinton doubled his speaking fees, and all the people involved in the deal kick back money to the Clinton Foundation. Dan Bongino.
You know, it's awfully coincidental, by the way, that most of the people involved in the uranium one deal either paid massive speaking fees, and also President Clinton takes a trip over to Kazakhstan as a deal for Kazakh uranium takes place with a guy who later donates, by the way, a large swath of his proceeds over to the Clinton Foundation. But the hypocrisy on this thing is fascinating. We know the source of the dossier was the Russians and the Clinton campaign. Nobody's bothered by that at all. Yet in this case of fairy tale like Russian collusion with the Trump team, nobody can show you who the colluders are or how the collusion happened, and they're all losing their mind.
Now, isn't it interesting that the bank that's paying Clinton and that's connected to the Rosatom in Russia, their nuclear group that they have there, isn't it interesting they double Bill Clinton's speaking fee for that speech at that very critical time? That doesn't seem fishy to you? Does it not seem fishy to you that all the people involved in that deal in Canada, Frank Gustra, all these other people, that they were throwing money at the Clinton Foundation and they needed Hillary to sign off on that deal that gave Uranium One 20% of our uranium control to Putin?
I think you got to be careful, Sean. I don't think there's a connection.
What do I have to be careful about?
Right now.
I'm telling the truth.
Well, I think the problem, though, now are the connections that Mueller is finding between the Trump administration and Russia. That's the real issue.
You only care about. I think what I'm hearing is you only care about Trump and Russia. Do you have any evidence that you can tell Dan Bongino tonight? Any evidence, any proof at all? Of Trump-Russia collusion? It's been a year and a half. Give me the evidence. What is it?
I think the 37 pages of the indictment tells all the story we need to hear right now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It speaks for itself.
Daryl, where in the indictment does it point to anybody who wittingly colluded? Wittingly means knowingly. Where does it say that?
What it clearly shows.
No. Where does it say that in the indictment? No. Where does it?
In the election.
Let me ask you. No, it doesn't say that. And as a matter of fact, Daryl, if you read line 53, are you a lawyer? If you read line 53 in the indictment, it says they supported groups. One of them was called "Support Hillary, Save American Muslims." Did you see that, or did you miss that one? That's line 53, by the way.
Without question. I think the indictment clearly lays out who Russia supported. That's what it does.
Really? Through a Support Hillary group. How exactly did that happen? Did you read the indictment, or are you just making this up?
I read all 37 pages.
You must have missed that line 53.53, where it says Support Hillary, Save American Muslims. They supported that group. Did you see that one, too?
I think without question, for those people who read the document,
you keep saying that, but you must not have read the document. Yeah, support Hillary, save American Muslims. That's in the indictment, which you didn't read. And you say you did. Nice work, though.
I did.
Yeah, well, you missed line 53. Go check that out. Come back in another show.
Well, I think you got to read the whole document. And I think when you read the whole document, it's rather clear.
Are we in bizarro Superman land? I'm telling you it's in the indictment on national television. You think I'm making this up? Look it up yourself.
Well,
you guys want to have a bet on this? I'll broker it.
What it clearly says.
I don't want to take his money.
The thing is, if after 18 months, you can't give me any evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, can you?
Well, I think you got to be careful. You use the word collusion like the president does.
But that's what they're investigating for you. That's what the media's been telling us. Give me any evidence you got, whatever you got.
Well, I think you got to be clear. Collusion is not a legal term that would fit the situation as to whether there was a crime.
So the bottom line is you have none. You don't have any.
Well, but I think time will tell that I'm right.
But he wants a legal investigation. Right. It's what
our video of the day, the Hannity hotline will